behind the cape. So, okay. Bo DeMaio offers to tell us the truth behind everything that's happened. And that's all well and great. But we have to be subscribed to his OnlyFans. And OnlyFans that I'm for damn sure not subscribing to, by the way. I'm just
You don't want to see the Bo DeMaio cosplays?
No, thank you.
Not into that?
I'm good. I'm good. For the truth. So we had to subscribe to him for the truth.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Honestly, I felt like that was the biggest misstep of kind of like everything that was said, honestly, because once you get to the meat of what it is he's trying to say, you realize this is worth much more on Good Morning America than it is on OnlyFans, fam. I don't know if you need this $9.99 per. I don't know if that's like, I mean, you know, he hasn't been working. I guess, you know, he's trying to get some revenue, but man, cash in on the big ones, because the story he's painting or the picture he's painting is one of a fighter for workers' rights, a victim of sexual harassment, borderline sexual assault, victim of racism and in the workplace, especially for a place like Disney. He tells a story about how one of the illustrators working on X-Men 97 berated him for making Cyclops the lead of the team. Said that he wasn't part of the club, Josh, and that he should be ashamed.
Said that Cyclops is not a part of the club?
No. Because he made Cyclops the lead of this X-Men squad for X-Men 97, which again is supposed to be a continuation of the 90s cartoon. For that reason, Bo DeMaio he's kicked out of the club. He lost his ally card.
That doesn't make any
sense.
With
With that person. Yeah.
Who was supposed to be?
Fam, that is besides the point. The shocking, the shock and awe of the fact that Bo DeMaio is the champion for masculinity in the Marvel office. Holy shit.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Holy shit. I mean,
that's the kind of masculinity they
want. Oh my goodness. But even more so that's how they're treating their fellow employees over there. Like that's how deep they are into the dogma over there. They have really, they smelling their own gas. They own whippets over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They own whippets over there. And if you don't like it, then you literally, like, that is the only way that I could legitimately see a company going so far as to call their own customers racist, misogynist, even if they know full on well that there are those individuals within their community. You don't call the people that you have your hand out expecting to give you money those things. Not as a company. I just don't understand it. But if you're that far into your own ideology, your own whatever, if that is how deeply ingrained into the culture it is at Disney, man, then it's easy to see how some of that stuff could come out publicly, or how they can start creating projects that is antagonizing the people they anticipate to criticize the show. There was another incident where there was a was it a producer or a writer, someone else at Marvel that worked on the 97 show. They told him that he must get a lot of schlong, must get a lot of glizzy because of the way that he looks. Right. And I didn't know if that was a black thing or a gay thing or a mixture of the two. Both. I'm gonna say, or a mixture of the two. But it's just like, man, that's the culture at Marvel. That that the head guy of this production is getting advanced like that. It is I don't know how to feel about that. That's legit plantation mentality. You here to do a job. I don't care what position you is in that job. You know your place here, boy. And I'll just overtly come on to you, however offensive it may be, and you're gonna go back to work and make X-Men 97.
I okay. Cucking always seemed like it was a thing where you desire black men getting with my white wife. But how does that work when
I'm
the
not
guy doesn't even
getting
desire?
into the science of what these
I don't
dudes
understand
like.
it.
I don't want that. All I'm telling you is that if they feel emboldened enough to do that, right, to a coworker, man, it is no telling what's going on in
It's a
Disney.
very toxic work
There is
environment.
no tell. I mean, listen to look at the stuff that we've only that have gotten leaked that we're not supposed to know. Letitia Wright almost damn decapitated in Wakanda Forever. Someone died on the Wonder Man set, y'all.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, if you're not overtly, chronically online about, feminism, then you're not an ally. And then, but also let me like try to grope you at a at a work function or some shit like that. Like it is insanity going on over there. It is kangaroo circus. But so there was that. Then there was also the working condition stuff, right? So he talked about how the VFX artists were overworked, and we knew that from the strikes and stuff from years past. We knew that from what was coming out after Ant-Man Quantumania and Thor Love and Thunder, and some of the projects where the visual stuff had suffered a
very
bit,
lackluster.
right? And some of the excuses we were getting from the VFX artists themselves were that they were being drug into the ground like Hebrew slaves.
Yeah.
That they were being overworked, that these concepts that they claim to have at Marvel don't actually actualize themselves until they start working on them. They're creating these movies on the fly, and then they have strict deadlines behind it as well. It's insanity. That part of it, in terms of the overworkness, is not just a Marvel thing. It seems to be an industry problem. So the fact that he was, he's referencing people losing weight and not sleeping and not eating and going through depressions and all this other stuff, right? Behind the treatment that they were receiving at Marvel, the fact that he took it to a higher up to try and, have something done about it, maybe ease their workload a bit, and got retaliated against. Same thing. He says he claims that he has knowledge of an improper relationship going on at Marvel with some executive, with an executive at Marvel, and that when he made a comment about that he got some sort of retaliation behind it. What I find interesting is that Disney did lead with the whole HR stuff, right? Oh, egregious behavior in our investigation, HR complaints, yada yada yada. But never did they say anything about Bo was making erroneous HR claims. He was creating discourse within the Disney community. He was spreading falsehoods. They don't acknowledge the fact that this man, seemingly, if he's telling the truth and his timeline is correct, started the process of involving HR because of things that were going on Marvel. I see the positioning of what's happening here. And on one side, we got one guy who's saying, look, I was going to Disney with all this different stuff that was fucked up over here. That shit was doing. People was sleeping with people they weren't supposed to be sleeping with. I was getting sexually harassed. People were getting overworked. It was unhealthy, unsafe work conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I brought that to their attention. And as a result of that, now I'm a social pariah. I'm sexually aggressive. I'm sending people unwanted pics. It's egregious behavior, all of this other stuff, right? Like the situation doesn't feel right? Like you would feel like if this started with Bo having disputes over
the
workplace, how did that then spin itself into an HR problem for Bo? And that's kind of where I'm drawing the dots on a retaliation thing. At least that's the story that Bo and his legal defense are presenting to us, right? The thing that I hate about all of this is that if you had all of that, if this is what you're going off of, fam, why the fuck are you on OnlyFans?
You should have just
call Dana Bash. Call Dana Bash and try to get on CNN. What are you doing?
I'm not even CNN, NBC.
Like, bruh, what's going on? Why? Come on. It just felt like, all right, well, yeah, I'm gonna tell the truth, but I'll get this money while I'm doing it too.
Which is
I
crazy.
mean? I just, fam.
Plus,
I'm
sure somebody would have paid. Somebody would have paid for that scoop.
Of course they
really had it. So
yeah,
then, like,
a sit-down interview with the fired Marvel director of praised show X-Men 97. Yeah.
So there's a better way to go about that instead of charging the fans to hear what the truth may be.
I hated the OnlyFans thing. Hated it.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe some people can get the truth and then whatever they're looking for afterwards. I don't fucking know.
Something they're looking for afterwards. That's crazy.
I'm just saying.
I just think he could have and would have done himself a lot more good trying to go with a little bit more of a standard platform, something on network television where he can talk to middle America, because that's where that shit's gonna play.
Yeah.
Right. Like nobody who has workers' rights at the top of their list of issues is paying you $9.99 to hear you defend workers' rights. That's not you're misfiring, bro. The crowd that you're talking to wants you to expel that shit out to as many ears as can hear it because it's not talked about enough.
And it looks away.
They don't want to see you try to capitalize on it. And that I think that's working on his credibility. But also I felt like he was working from a stronger position when he was talking behind his lawyer, when he was letting his legal representation respond to Disney. It felt like they were responding from a position of strength. This feels like desperation. It feels like I need money.
Yeah. No, I agree. Definitely agree. Yeah, I just feel weird about it. If it is being thrown back around in his face, it still sounds like they have something against Bo at some level. So I mean, it still sounds like even if he instituted the HR stuff, he is still at fault at some level, even if it's not as nearly as bad as having that toxic workplace environment already in place before he did anything.
I believe that in the course of their back and forth that Disney found a quote unquote legitimate reason to fire Bo DeMaio, like a by the book, by the letter of the law type reason to fire Bo DeMaio. What I'm questioning is how we got to that conclusion, to the point where we're actively trying to find reasons to fire him. Mm-hmm. And did that come as a result of him bringing up an issue with all this other stuff?
Yeah.
You know, you can get fired for a million reasons at a job that you, me, or the next individual may or may not find moral or reasonable. The more important thing to me is that he doesn't seem to want to focus on that, nor is he denying it. He's not denying that he got fired. He's not denying that he had, a relationship or anything like that, or sent pictures. Yeah. I think it's weird that he's presenting a, new information to the case, and that from the opposition, it's totally focused on why he got fired. I don't think he's fighting that. I don't think he's fighting the fire part of it, whatever it may have been.
Agreed.
Agreed.
All right. So the Minecraft movie trailer comes out, and I know you and I are not the key demographic for that. It's more of a younger demographic, but it seems people were upset about seeing a black woman in the trailer for Minecraft. A world that's completely fictional can't have a black woman in it.
Yeah, I mean,
make it make sense.
Those are the types that show you exactly who they are early. If we were race swapping a character, if we were injecting, characters into stuff that don't make sense, I just do black people play Minecraft? I think they do. So like, why there can't be a? First of all, there are no real tangible humans in Minecraft. They're block people.
Yeah.
They're block people. Are you mad that one of the block people is going to be brown? Is that that's really what you rolling with, right? We're not even going to stick with the standard, don't steal my stories, right? That's not what we're going to stick with. Straight up. Brown. No!
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Like, fam, there is, to my knowledge, there's never been a Minecraft movie. There is no There's nothing to go off of in terms of what this shit is supposed to look like. What are we doing?
Brown bad.
Minecraft?
Brown bad. No, Brown bad.
The goddamn block game?
Yes. Block good.
Bro,
Brown
we're not
bad.
allowed to be
Brown
nowhere.
terrible.
We're not allowed to be anywhere. We're not allowed to be in fantasy. We're not allowed to be in a medieval setting. We ain't allowed to be outside of chains if it's before the year 1900. Like we are only allowed to be drug dealers, criminals of some sort, probably swindlers, thieves, athletes, and sexual objects to be lusted after. Anything outside of that box is completely and utterly not our job and needs to be flagged.
Yeah. We're allowed to sell crack rock on the block, but not be black blocks.
No black blocks. We're anti-black blocks. Jesus, got me feeling like Myron in those all-white chat rooms.
Facts. FYI, I have played Minecraft before. Didn't completely understand it. Not my thing. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Tony Robinson, what up? Marvel has been infiltrated by the radical SJW.
Yeah, I mean, you try to fight comments like that, but then when the lady is literally telling you, like trying to ostracize you, attempting to otherize you because you made Cyclops the leader of the X-Men, like more than the fact that she may have some fucked up moral standards and some weird politics. How does a person that's working on X-Men 97 not understand why Scott needed to be the leader of the team? Like, I know you not, you don't watch a lot, but who was the leader of the team in the 90s cartoon, Josh?
Scott. And
then if this is a continuation, it would mean that who would be the leader?
Cyclops himself.
Okay. I'm just confused how that person has a job on that production. Right. Like, it's one thing to not be tied down to canon to the point where that's the only thing that you're going to create. Like, there's some sort of logic to that. But to go 180 degrees in the opposite direction and say, no, I want someone who has no understanding of this IP whatsoever to be an integral part. An illustrator, somebody draw it in the cartoon.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense at all. And it's one thing to not pay attention to the source material, the comics, but then literally we're just continuing the old show, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a tweet from, who was it? Exile Scooper.
Yeah. Information. Yeah. You got that in the.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it.
Share screen. All right. So this is what I've heard so far. Wait, can we see that? Are we all good? Okay, cool. This is what I've heard so far. Lots of drama going on at Marvel. Nothing official yet, but higher ups in Marvel are supposedly rethinking the whole RDJ Doom situation and believe they may have pulled the trigger on that announcement too soon due to internal conflicts between RDJ, his team, and Marvel and Disney. Feige has informed Disney higher-ups if RDJ Doom situation is not resolved within the week, then they want to go back to plan B, which is bringing back Jonathan Majors and finishing off Kang's story, meaning Avengers 5 might be retitled yet again. Disney has to approve this, though, and they were the ones who let go of Jonathan Majors while Feige still wanted him. I'm told Disney still wants RDJ as Doom and is hopeful the situation is resolved.
That last part, I had actually heard that there was maybe some potential division in how to handle the Jonathan Majors decision, that the parent company kind of came in and made that move before Kevin Feige and Marvel were able to really do anything about it. Like, they kind of they big dogged them. It was like, no, this is gonna go ahead and get handled a certain way. the reason why I feel like I don't know if I had to rank on what on percentage of how likely this is to be true, 35%.
I
35
was gonna say it has to be less than 50. If they were
35%.
willing to pull the trigger on the announcement already.
But the only reason why I can see some of this being true is what Bo DeMaio told us. There is dysfunction within that house, right? You don't necessarily need to hear specifics to know that something is wrong, right? The fact that we get so much information is telling in itself, but there is a lot verifiably going on in that company that really is out of the ordinary for Disney. And I'm not even talking about the social stuff. I'm talking about, you don't really hear OSHA compliance lawsuits coming out of the House of Mouse. Like, those are usually things that either go unheard of or just don't happen at a company like that, right? The disputes with their actors that they've been having over the last few years. Like, is it really that unbelievable that in a place where Marvel is vulnerable and they need RDJ, that he attempts to over leverage them, and somebody in the House of Mouse says, wait a minute, are you just tagging 100 million to this guy for 2 movies with no plan on how to move forward after?
I can see that.
Are you shoehorning Tony Stark back into this storyline to save us now, paying him $100 million and essentially making us beholden to him indefinitely? I could see somebody raising that concern within the house. Somebody has to say it. Like, somebody got to be real. It's like, oh no, man, we seem to be bringing in all the old guys. I see Wesley. I see, we see Wesley. We see, why can't I get off of Wesley Snipes? Who else is the old guy? Oh, we see Hugh Jackman. We see RDJ over there. Are we sure? Are we sure? We're just going to leverage hundreds of $millions into the Expendables. That's what we're going to do now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I got somebody with a half a brain cell in that room has got to be concerned about where the future looks like it's heading. But the problem is that how do you out wrestle the parent company? Like, in a dispute between Marvel and Disney, Disney wins every time.
Yeah.
So where is the real hope that Marvel would approve something like this? And then what kind of PR hit would they take after they were the ones who spun the web of Jonathan Majors' demise in terms of his character assassination that he received during his trial and after? How do you work your way out of that, being that you were the architect of that shaming?
Yeah.
How do you hold him up in front of people after what you allow the trades and networks that are under your own umbrella to run with about him? So I don't know how this would even come together.
Sure. Seems like you've got a detractor here in Perp saying this is cap. I don't believe it. The old guy is crazy.
No, like literally. Like, it's like, is anybody looking around the room and noticing that we're talking about giving feature films to not 1, not 2, but 3 50-year-olds? Meanwhile, the 50-year-old that came to us and begged us to be Blade, he can't get his movie made. He can't get his movie off the ground. But we can discuss Wesley Snipes, who I believe is in the 60s now. Yeah. We can discuss Hugh Jackman going forward, who's going on his 60s.
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss Hugh Jackman going forward as the new Wolverine, or at least, for now, while we still need to rake in these dollars.
Yeah.
That type of decision making leaves the door open for this to be possible at all. It hasn't been sound up to this point, so why would I expect this to be any different?
Actually, RDJ is 59.
Yeah. Yeah.
So So yeah. Yikes.
Anyway.
Big yikes. Okay. I'm trying to find the clip of Don Cheadle. I think it is.
Oh, they got
somewhere
this
in
on
here.
tape?
Yeah, they finally got the actual.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Or I saw it. I know I saw it on Twitter. I'm trying to find it on YouTube. But I guess not. I'll find it on here then, I guess. If I
Yeah,
can
please
find
get
the-
the video. I want to see that.
This is it.
Okay.
This is it.
Anything you can tell us about Armor Wars, the next Marvel?
What's Armor Wars?
Oh, come on.
Listen, it's the line. You know, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. And I just met you guys. I don't want to do
Okay.
that.
Right.
Anything you can tell us about Armor Wars?
That's
What
basically
is
it.
Armor Wars? What is Armor Wars?
When I first saw it, I was like, "Is he being serious? Like, what is?"
I didn't know
happening
he
here?
did this shit on Good Morning America. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, he could still be playing coy because they haven't officially announced it yet. I don't.
That's
think.
what I think is happening now that I heard him say, "Oh, if I tell you I had to kill you," like that
But at
makes
the
me.
same time, they may not know. They literally may not know because I can absolutely see Rhodey's movie being folded into somebody else's story. Sam, Riri,
Yeah.
you know, take your pick. But I feel bad for Don Cheadle, man. I feel bad for Don
Same.
Cheadle. He couldn't have envisioned that this is what it was gonna be when he replaced Terrence Howard. He's like, oh, boom, baby, payday. I'm gonna be front page in Hollywood for the next 20 years.
Facts.
And essentially, he was a glorified mascot. They turned him into a paraplegic, and also a kidnap victim of the
Yeah.
last 5 years of his life.
Oh shit.
So
Yeah.
I just don't know what hope the movie of Armor Wars had at this point, anyways.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we've been saying for quite some time that Armor Wars is not going to be. It's not going to
I
happen.
think said, what is Armor Wars?
Yeah. I was
That
trying
is
to find
hilarious.
a clip of him saying in Rush Hour, "I'm gonna kick your ass,
Your ass,
and I'm gonna kick your
ass.
ass."
I'll shoot you ass. Say you fell down. Say it was an accident.
Come on, Kenny. Come on.
Come on. I'll shoot you. Say you fell down.
What's Marvel? I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's hilarious.
Literally.
That's hilarious.
Literally.
All right. On to the next bookmark. I wish I didn't back out of the bookmark so quickly. We've got a funny story here about
Harold Perrineau and his daughter Aurora.
yes.
So I don't know if anybody is currently watching Chaos on Netflix, TV show with Jeff Goldblum playing Zeus. Kind of new take, a modern take on the pantheon of gods, I guess is kind of what's going on there. So anyways, during the creation of the show, and you can actually read it in Aurora's own words. Fun fact, when I was casting Chaos on Netflix, and the mood board was heavily influenced by Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, Maurizio was prominent on the board. It wasn't until partway through filming that the creators found out that that was my dad. Now, talk about not being acknowledged in a space. Again, if you're watching this show, you know that this lady is pretty close to being the lead of the show. How in the hell, even though their names are the same,
Yeah.
did you not even think to ask? Like, hey, is there any relation? Harold Perrineau, do you know him? Uncle, father, or something like that? Fam, what in the hell? You mean you got this man's face plastered all over your what does she call it? The mood board, or storyboard, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't even know his name. You couldn't know his name. You couldn't know his name. Either you didn't know his name or you didn't know Aurora's name. Either way,
That's
double in there.
where that's where the person down here says, genuine question, did you not include your last name during any audition? It's just such a rare name in Hollywood. And she says, people often think my dad looks too young to have a kid my age. And also, I think being mixed can sometimes throw confusion around. No, the name is still the name. Like, I've
The
never
name is
heard
the
that
name,
last
bro, and he ain't that damn young.
Facts.
The hell?
Stupid. Dumb. Very dumb. Yikes. All right. we've got some news on Mark Ruffalo and Mahershala Ali and other actors and actresses supporting a pro-Israelite, pro-Palestinian cause.
Yeah, they're
Anti-Israelite.
calling for a immediate arms sale, a cease of arms sale to Israel in light of everything that's going on in the Middle East with them at the moment. The most notable name on that list for me was Mark Ruffalo because he's gotten a spanking from Disney several times over speaking out over this very issue. It seems he doesn't give a good goddamn anymore. That is the clearest confirmation to me that we are not getting a Hawk movie right there. If he's jumping back into this again, he don't give a shit, and there's no prospect of him ever getting a Hawk movie. So just let that shit die. Fact. Whatever fight happens between him and Battle World Thanos or Wolverine, that is the closest thing you're ever going to get to a Hawk movie. So enjoy.
Okay, so we're never going to get like a Iron Man Hulk movie or a Captain America Hulk movie.
Nope. If he already took his lashings over speaking out over this issue twice, I believe now. Yes. So now if he's willing to jump into it for a third time, he's like, look, there's no prospect of me getting my payday anyways. I'm going to be Cameo God until they stop casting me. So
God is hilarious.
I might as well speak some truth to power. Shout out to him.
Michael Keaton is not actually Michael Keaton.
Crazy, right? That
Very
shit
crazy.
That shit blew my mind. That shit blew my mind.
Insane.
Michael Keaton is actually Michael Keaton Douglas. According to the Screen Actors Guild, you can't have the same name as another actor in SAG. So Michael Keaton, being that he was obviously the actor to come up behind Michael Douglas being there first, chose to adopt his middle name as his last name, and that's kind of how it went from there on out. But yeah, his actual name is Michael Keaton Douglas. Insane.
It's almost as crazy as finding out that Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen are actually Estevez's and Emilio.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez is their brother. You didn't know that?
No, I knew that, but I'm saying when I found that out, it's about the same.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Jenna Ortega says, fuck all the gender bending and just give us the roles that we're actually looking for.
You saved the best for last, man. Jenna with a really good take. I knew I liked her when she got fired from Warner Brothers for doing the same thing Mark Ruffalo was doing.
Yeah.
But she's dead on accurate, man, and it's good to hear an actor in Hollywood reflect that. That they hear a lot of the feedback from a lot of these swaps. That they feel it when they're involved in the projects and they have to catch the vitriol because of it.
Yeah,
it's good to hear someone be honest about it and just say that it sucks and that we shouldn't do it.
Facts.
And that's the clearest thing. The consumer has clearly rejected it. It's upon the creators to be more creative and find another way to present the product.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I mean,
What up, Jenna?
Jenna, what up?
What up? Yeah. You and the other Scream homegirl, y'all both cool. They both got their walking papers around the same time.
Facts. All right. Anything else we need to talk about for Behind the Cape?
No. Anything else entertainment for me is probably gonna get talked about in Dubs and L's.
Shout out to Power Book 3 coming back for another season. I guess.
Do we have to
be their final season?
Do we have to? No, it doesn't seem like it. Unfortunately,
you think so?
It doesn't. I mean, they aren't saying the final season unless it just gets canceled after the season.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, Raising Kanan to some people is their favorite. So,
is it though?
I said to some people.
Is it though?
Yeah, some people. I know Ghost is not my favorite. It's between Raising Kanan and Force for me.
Yeah, I would say it was probably Force/Year.
Yeah, I think I would like to see 2 more seasons of Force before it goes off air, but I don't know. We'll see.
Whatever we do, we got to get Tariq the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to see what happens in the season finale of this one. I feel like I'm going to somehow be let down in the season finale of Power, but We'll get there.
It was going well very early on in that episode, and then something happened. And I was like, "Here we go, here we go. We're going right back. We're going right back."